What's on the fun schedule today, Nat?
Charleston.
For adults, takes me about 45-50 minutes, fully narrated. Young farm right up here on this front seat. Here's your book. More of you? I'm trying to decide which way to get up. See the little, put your right foot on that center wheel, the other foot on the running board. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's another one be coming out here in most mules. Catherine and Josephine. There they got Catherine and Josephine, Toast and Jam, Jimmy Faye and Tammy Faye and Jimmy. Quite a personality, y'all. When you stop her, and you make her stay stopped too long, she turns around and she'll give you the lip. Y'all will watch her. She'll stick her top lip out about this far. And if that's not enough, she can't get your attention to make you go like that, then she sticks her tongue out behind you. Really funny. This is not my brake. This is to contract my steps. I don't hit the arms. The only brakes we have on these carriages are whoa. Works pretty well though. Now my name is Sherry. I am a native of Charleston. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to stop me and ask me. I see, I thought you were going to have a Yankee, didn't you?
Yeah, there you go.
I got a native here. See that horse behind you? That's Dusty. That's the slowest horse in the barn. We call him the Wonder Slug. How many of y'all have heard this called the slave market since you've been here? Anybody?
No.
We refer to this area as the slave market, but there was never any slaves sold out at this market. Dean Ho, y'all see the girl on the first carriage up here. Ho, Dean. Ho. His name is Wesley. When you go by her, y'all, when I count to 3, I want you to say, "Happy birthday, Wesley." Okay? Girl. The very first carriage. Okay? I'll finish telling y'all about the slave market. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday, Wesley!
I told you I was going to get you. Anyway, like I was saying, this is never a slave market. This is a place where they come sell their produce, their poultry, their fish, and their meat. These vendors that you see here, they come here every day between 8 and 9 and set up their goods. But they haven't sold, but they haven't sold by They haven't sold by 5 or 6 that afternoon. They pack up, take home, and start again the next day. See, I call this area, y'all, a woman's dream and a man's nightmare. Y'all see my boss? Nice fella, huh?
Restful.
Yeah. Y'all see this church in front of us? This is St. Philip. Can y'all tell this church steeple's leaning a little bit to the left?
No.
Anybody know why that church steeple leans from 8 degrees? Does anybody know why it leans like that? From the what?
Earthquake.
Earthquake. Right. So I know y'all are sitting on the second most active earthquake fault in North America.
Excellent.
Called Woodstock Fault. Uh-huh. I was fixing to ask you, anybody know the rule of thumb about earthquakes after they're supposed to happen? Every 100 years.
Yeah.
We are 3 years overdue, y'all. How long y'all gonna be staying here?
Today.
Today.
So it better get busy.
Now, in 1886, we had a major earthquake here. If we had a Richter scale back then, it would have registered 8.6 on the Richter scale. So as far north as Boston, Massachusetts. That was 20 years after the war between the states. Better known here as the War of Northern Aggression. We're still relatively poor here. We couldn't afford to tear down all these homes and buildings and start over. 90% of them were damaged. And what they did is run a rod the length and the width of the building. They connected these rods in the center with a turnbuckle. They turned that turnbuckle, brought the buildings back together. And what y'all keep seeing on the outside, these homes, see these square washers here? And those washers hold those rods in place and they squeeze that building together. Now, as far as we know, this does not prevent earthquake damage. Okay, this was only used to restore the damage that was done by the earthquake of 1886. Never had another major earthquake here to find out exactly what they'll do. Now, we do have tremors here all the time. That's why nothing major. Had about 10 trimmers this year already. We had to come back down Cumberland Street at the end of the tour. I'm going to save the oldest here for last. And we're going to start this tour with a little short geography lesson and some history. Now, Charleston is a peninsula. We're surrounded on 3 sides by water. 3 blocks behind us is the Cooper River. 13 blocks ahead of us is the Ashley River. Did y'all know these 2 rivers came together to form the Atlantic Ocean? How y'all think that ocean got there? Now, these 2 rivers were named after one man. His name was Anthony Ashley Cooper. He was the Earl of Shaftesbury. He was the leader of 8 Lord Proprietors who granted this tract of land called Carolina by King Charles II. And King Charles II gave these 8 Lord Proprietors his land because they helped restore him to the throne of England after the demise of Richard and Oliver Cromwell. And when King Charles granted these 8 Lord Proprietors his land, Carolina consisted of part of North Carolina, all of South Carolina, a part of Georgia and Florida, and all lands westward to the Pacific Ocean. It's real estate high. King Charles could easily give this land away. None of it belonged to him. But the Spanish already claimed it all. When we first settled here, in 1670, 5 miles down the Ashley River, a place called Albemarle Point. For 10 years, we fought the Spanish trying to reclaim this land in the Indian raids. We moved to present-day site in 1680. Being a peninsula, not water on 3 sides of it, it acted as a natural moat. We defend the city of Haditha over here at this point. This is Meeting Street we're on right now. And Meeting Street got its name from a little white meeting house that used to sit where this church sits today. This was the great street that led to the meeting house. Hey, Taylor. It has to be built in the style of the city. Everything has to be able to blend in. We will not allow any of our historical structures to be torn down. And our skyline law here is nothing higher than our church steeple. And y'all will see a few buildings that are 13 stories high. These buildings were built before the board had a lot of strength here in the city. And today they're extremely powerful and will not allow anything higher than the church steeple to be built. Back on the Cooper River, the Burns diagonal across the city put itself out on the Ashley River. The Middle Class Hotel was saved. Patrons get a pipe of wet blankets on the outside to keep it from burning. It was charged pretty badly, but it didn't burn. Gene Ho? Anybody have any idea how old this hotel is?
None whatsoever.
200 years.
It's only 20 years old. 20 years old? 20. Original Mills house was found structurally unsound 20 years ago, so they tore it down and built this an exact replica of the original. This one actually has 2 more stories than the original. The original had 12-foot ceilings, they have 8-foot ceilings in this one, allowed for extra 2 stories. The cornices you see here today are made out of fiberglass, where the original ones are made out of terracotta. Terracotta been 2 times replaced for today's prices.
I'll be done. Very nice.
We got a balcony on the front. Barbara Lee did stand on that balcony. They just took the old balcony off, put it on the new building. I didn't tell y'all any story. Y'all get the truth from me. Maybe a bit biased and great. It's very great. It'll be the truth. Spookins Port, great restaurant, John. They got the best she crab soup in the city. They
What
serve
kind?
she crab soup.
Sheep crab.
They serve low country cuisine. It's white. The food was abundant to the cause when it came here. And low country also means that low-lying, marshy area of South Carolina around here. All right, Dean Ho, explain this man what she crab soup is. She crab soup, this meal was made with milk-based roe of she crabs. What it's called, the eggs of she crab. Excellent. It's all cooked in together. Oh, it's excellent. You gotta try it right here. It's a Charleston delicacy. It was invented here in Charleston. It's made with the milk base. Real good. Calabash is deep fried. Yes. Fully breaded deep fried is what calabash is. It's got a real crisp coating on the outside. It's good too. I told y'all about that earthquake. Y'all again inside his boat. Yeah, it's lovely. And they look at how the LA house is. Quaint little lampstand. There's never turned to it. You might want to check out the LA house. 82 Queens. They just opened up a new restaurant in the market area called 102 North Market. Both of them serve some first food. Real good food. If y'all want to see a good movie in Charleston, it's called Dear Charleston. I explain to a lot of people in Charleston all the way we are, so we're just a little arrogant here. We think Charleston should be a little state by herself, or a city-state. Of course, they won't let us do that. If y'all want to see that movie, you can see it here at the Preservation Society of Charleston. Oh, geez. The Preservation Society also has some excellent books on Charleston. There's one that I recommend to everybody. It's called Come Hella High Water. It's a pictorial history of the city. The pictures start just before the war between the states. They end around the turn of the century. You'll see pictures your right, these are the first most predominant style of house here in Charleston. They're known as a single house. And a single house is built one room wide to the street. There was 2 rooms before. The main reason building these homes like this is so they catch the breezes coming off the harbor. The breeze goes to the front of the room and out the back of the room. It's like an early form of air conditioning. And we think the other reason they built them nearer into the street like this was for taxation reasons. Height. We think they were taxing the amount of house frontage they had in the street. And we know for a fact they're taxing the amount of windows and doors they have in their home. Taxing on their house frontage also makes sense. Can you take that? Take that. Alright, can you walk? Walk. We're going to take a left onto Legree Street. Now Legree Street was named for Solomon Legree. At one time, Mr. Legree was one of the wealthiest men here in Charleston. He was a silversmith here in the city. Young, those 8 lord proprietors I told you about founded this tract of land. It was founded on an economic adventure. They didn't care who settled here as long as they could turn them a profit. So there was very little religious persecution here in Charleston. The only stipulation they had was that you had to be a member of a church until you were 17 years old to be protected by Charleston laws. They also only needed 50 people to start a new congregation here in Charleston. That's why we have 181 churches in the downtown area of the city alone. And people say that's why we're called the Holy City. Y'all know the reason we're the Holy City, don't you? Well, this is the closest point on earth y'all ever going to get to heaven. God bestowed all his love on this city, y'all. Everybody here knows that. St. John's Cathedral, you're very easy here in Charleston. It looks like something you don't want to sit on, no one's stopping it. The reason they don't have a steeple is because they ran out of money. This is Broad Street we're crossing over. Broad Street used to be the Wall Street of South. We had our prominent lawyers and bankers. Now still today we have our prominent lawyers and bankers and real estate agents. That street there marks the social boundary here in Charleston. We're entering the most prestigious area of the city right now. Now y'all, this is one area of the city where you can call somebody an SOB and they take it as a compliment. It means south of Broad. If you live north of Broad, you call it a snob. You live slightly north of Broad. This is like a little city within a city down here. It's real quiet. It's one of my favorite streets. I love Legree Street. It's real quiet. That's the reason I love it. The Parkinsonia tree, also known as a butterfly tree. Pretty?
Yep.
You see the front doors on these single houses? They're called false front doors. They don't lead anywhere but onto the piazzas. And piazzas are what we call our porches here in Charleston. They use their piazzas in the summertime as an extension to their home. They have outdoor dinner parties, so they slept on them. It was cooler that way. They didn't want people just to wander in while they were eating or sleeping, so they had the front doors for privacy. Gene, come Gene. If y'all seen this single house here a year ago, you say tear it down, there's nothing you can do with it. And Board of Architecture Review wouldn't allow it. They restored the home beautiful, isn't it?
This one back there?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. The new owners just paid $500,000 for it.
Who restored it? Did the
The private
city?
contractor
A
came
private
in.
contractor?
No, ma'am. Now, if you're going to restore these homes, please. Gene, Hope. Now, listen to me. Get over here. Okay, stand. Stand. See, I don't drive Gene a lot. And all these, horses are like kids. They're going to see what they can get away with. And she's going to give me the lip. Now, if you're going to restore one of these homes for your own private home, you use your own private dollars for it. Now, if you're going to make a museum home out of it or a bed and breakfast, a lot of times you can get government help with it. All right, now come on.
It is. About first they did it.
Now, y'all, this is still on single house. It's just one room wide. Oh, your car's right in my way here. Now, I can't see the house. Now, I'm going to pull up right here. They can see it in the back. Y'all look back on it. You pretty?
Yeah.
This one's pretty here, too. They got pretty courtyard. Yes, sir. That's why all you prominent doctors and lawyers and tour guides come down here. I haven't quite got that prompted yet. Now that's it. Our Board of Architecture Review wouldn't allow this to happen today. Oh,
Okay.
Some of them have 3, some of them have 2. This is the sword gate in. It's a bed and breakfast today. And actually, the stucco part's a bed and breakfast. The rest of it's at home here. And the sword gate you see, they were made by a very prominent and prolific iron worker here in the city. His name is Christopher Warner. He did these gates in the 1830s. Now, the swords are a symbol of authority. The other set of these gates are at the Citadel Military College here in Charleston. Uh-oh. Don't have any horse run markers either. See that little blue thing with the little orange tag? That's a horse run marker. When the horse wets the street, we fill out one of these markers, and our little truck called the Foot Patrol comes along behind the horse and cleans the street with a citrus deodorizer.
Really? Okay.
Okay, you see it, Jeannie? This house is actually a girl authentic, huh?
Right.
See, I just figured that's human nature. If you don't got it, you want it. You got it, you don't need it.
That is a good job.
Once y'all look behind this single house when we pass it, you'll see how far the property line goes back behind some of these homes. I want y'all to look all the way back to the bench. That's a little yard, huh?
Yeah.
This is the pineapple gate house. And what's pineapple symbolize, y'all? Oh. Hospitality or welcome. See, when the seamen would go out to sea, their wives were allowed to entertain. When they returned from sea, the wives would put a pineapple on the doorstep to let everybody know the return. Now, I think it's to let the boyfriends know the husbands were back.
Undoubtedly.
That sounds right.
Yes. So this house was built by Francis Simmons, and Mr. Simmons was considered the celibate bridegroom here in Charleston. See, ho? He was tricked into marriage, and he found out about the trick the day of the wedding. Now, being the southern gentleman that he was, he went ahead and married the lady. At the end of the ceremony, he dropped her off at her house at 131 Trad, and he came here to 14 Legree. Now, he attended all the balls and the dinners in the city with her, but he never spent the same night in the house with her the whole time they were married. If you look back on the house, you can see the main house, the kitchen house, the carriage house, and the slave quarters. Now, in November, this house sold for $1.7 million. In February, it resold for $2 million. This is the most expensive selling house here yet in downtown Charleston.
Who owns it?
I'm not sure who the new owners were. It was our lieutenant governor owned it was the last owner.
Now, where does their yard come to? Clear over here?
Yes, ma'am,
All the way over, okay. Okay.
$2 million, huh?
Is he single?
He's so high here and stuff. You'll see what they're allowed to do with their piazzas?
Yeah.
That's the most you can do. That's the most you can do with it right there. See, it's not obstructed by wood anyway. The wood shutters and stuff you see there. Hey, I didn't say you'd go anywhere. Stand, James. Give me the left if you want. You stand. You'll see this plant here. It's called oleander. It comes in white, dark pink, light pink, and yellow. And this is extremely poisonous, y'all. Very, very poisonous. It's actually the most toxic when you burn it, but you can digest the plant too. It's poisonous. Y'all know that oleander is one of the few things that won't show up on an autopsy report?
No. Wow. Okay.
Don't drink the tea. It's all over Charleston. Yeah, this is a pretty house and courtyard here.
Oh, yeah.
See the stuff climbing all over the walls here in Charleston? It's called climbing fig.
Okay.
Do you know how oleander came about? No? There's this couple that extremely devoted to each other, very much in love with each other. Their name was Ander. The guy's name was Lee. Lee died unexpectedly. Mr. Ander would sit by his grave all day and go, "Oh, Leander!" Oh. One day a sprig came up. I'm pulling your leg. Flat out lying.
We couldn't tell that.
We're going to take a left on the South Battery. And y'all, if y'all want to walk Charleston at night, starting in the market area all the way up to the tip of the peninsula here, there's virtually very little climb down through here. I personally think Charleston's prettier at night than it is in the daytime. The ladies, very romantic here at night. Y'all might want to keep that in mind. Extremely so. Did y'all see the marker in between the shutters? That's a fire insurance marker. Now, at one time, there was 13 fire insurance companies here in Charleston. Now, back then, a fire insurance company was the same thing as a firehouse. When a fire broke out, all 13 fire insurance companies would run to the fire to see whose mark was on the front of the building. Whoever marker it was, they put the fire out. There was no marker, they just let it burn.
No.
Y'all see these trees that have any bark on them? They're all over Charleston. These are called crepe myrtle. That's what Myrtle Beach, South Carolina was named for. And the pink, white, and purple bloom. And then crepe myrtle is not native to the United States. It's brought over here in the early 1700s by a French botanist by the name of Michel. Moreland House. Mr. Moreland
Like
fluff
root.
mud. Mud around here. It's built on pilings. You know the old Imperial Hotel in Japan that Frank Lloyd Wright built? It's built on the same style as that.
Huh. And it really worked.
Oh, it really worked. This man sure did. And this big white building here, this is built before the Board of Architecture Review had a lot of strength here in the city. They wouldn't dare allow this to be built today. It's called Little Miami on the Battery. Used to be the Fort Sumter Hotel. Now it's condos for the chronically wealthy here in Charleston.
Chronically well.
You see the hat on top of this house? The hat is called a cupola. That cupola is used mainly for ventilation. The hot air would rise and come out the cupola. They're also called widow's walk, but the true widow's walk has a porch around the cupola. That house is owned by a man named Colonel John Ash Sr. He had a son, that's Colonel John Ash Jr. He lived in this blue house. Y'all, we get up even with this house. I want y'all to look back behind it and see how far this house goes back. Huge. It's way back now.
Oh, this one.
Yeah.
And Colonel John S. Jr. was a confirmed bachelor. He swore up and down that no woman was going to ever corner him. Almost every room in this house got rounded corners in it. Said he died a happy bachelor. Y'all know your neighbors? These two here, This is the Battery Carriage House Inn. They have 11 bed and breakfast rooms. Old carriage house is towards the back. Anybody see the miniseries North and South? Madeline's daddy's house. Remember Roy came back from West Point, come running up these stairs here? Looking for his true love, and she's engaged to another man.
The way it usually is.
Song of the South. This land that we're on right now, this is landfill land. Up until 1810, all this was marshland. This was marshland. Land was filled in, this was White Point Gardens formed. It's also known as Battery Park. The trees you see growing here, these are live oak trees, and they are green all year round. They have a summer set of leaves and a winter set of leaves, and they also shed all year round. The gray stuff you see hanging off the tree, and that's called Spanish moss. It does not harm the tree at all, it absorbs the moisture in the air. There you go. You see the Ashley River to your right? The Cooper River in front of you?
Oh.
And y'all see how they form that ocean? See there? What you looking at, Danny girl? See the bandstand in the center of the park? And that was given to the city in 1905 by Martha Carrington. She gave it in honor of her parents. See this White House here? What her parents gave her. Her father left her $75,000 on her pillow the night she was married, told her to build her home. This is number 2 Meeting Street Inn. If you want to stay here in the springtime of the year, you have to call a year in advance for your reservation. Y'all know what their in-laws gave them? 2-year trip to Europe while they're building their house. Nice, huh? Whatever happened to good old days, y'all? And this is still just 1 room wide here, y'all. It's still single house. Now, what style of lamps are those, y'all? Gothic. Did y'all want to sit on that? This house was built by Josiah Smith, and Mr. Smith wanted his house built out of brick because brick was economical. Well, Mrs. Smith wanted it out of wood because wood was fashionable. Mr. Smith won the argument. They built it out of brick. He died 2 years later. Mrs. Smith covered it in wood.
So it's brick under there?
So he actually gets the last laugh.
Yeah.
That wood sweats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean the brick sweats underneath that wood.
Sure.
So it has to be painted about every 3 years.
Sure.
And the staircase you see there is what we call a welcoming arm staircase. You see how it kind of reaches out to give you a big hug? And the ladies would go up one side of it, the gentlemen would go up the other side of it. That way her ankles weren't seen. The young lady's ankles were seen, she was disgraced forever. She'd have to leave Charleston, move someplace like Indiana.
Oh,
Yes.
now that's disgrace.
And I told y'all that house on the corner was a wedding present from father to daughter. Daddy's house. This is the Calhoun Mansion. It's the largest residence in Charleston. There's 24,000 square feet in this house. At the turn of the century, there was 19 bathrooms. This is a This is a museum house, and if there's any museum house that y'all see while you're here in Charleston, you gotta come see this house here. It's beautiful inside. The woodwork is the most outstanding feature of the house. See the front doors there? They're made out of solid walnut. They weigh 300 pounds apiece. Now, George Williams Sr. built this house in 1876. He invested in British sterling during the war instead of Confederate currency, so he came out of the war being very wealthy. You see our rope molding around the doorways and the windowsills? Anywhere you see rope molding in the city of Charleston, that's a sign of wealth. Ho, Pete, ho! Ho! Look at the fence
What?
Rope molding.
The rope.
The rope molding. Mr. Williams is extreme.
On each side of the
Oh,
house.
yeah.
Now, Gagney Howe owns the house today. He's a lawyer here in Charleston. Hi, y'all. When he bought this house in 1976, Gene, hose. What is your problem? Now, hose, stand. And when he bought this house in 1976, they were ready to demolish it. The piazzas you see on the front were literally hanging off the front of the house. He's got about $2.5 million in restoration in the house today. The miniseries North and South, the Philadelphia Home of the Hatches. Yes.
I'll be there.
He used the inside and the outside of his house. Everybody agreed to go spend 2 bits a week at his tavern to help him out. They still give things away today. They give scholarships to the College of Charleston today. This is our French Huguenot Society here in the city. Come on. This is St. Michael's in front of us. St. Michael's is the oldest church in the city. It was finished in 1761. The church hasn't always been white. During the war between the states, the Union forces were sitting out in our harbor using this church steeple as a pinpoint to mark the center of the city from bombardment. So they painted it black. Worked out pretty well. They weren't able to find the center of the city easily, especially at night. It's mainly why they did it, because of the night bombing that's going on here at the time. Hey, Miss Alberta. This corner that we're coming upon is known as the Four Corners of Law. Given this name by Mr. Ripley, or Ripley's Believe It or Not. The reason he gave him this name, you have the church here, this is God's law, post office, federal law, city hall, city law, courthouse, county law. They say if you park the car, put money in your meter, come and get married, pick up your mail, go pay your taxes. If you don't want to stay married, get a divorce, there's still money left on the meter. Convenient, huh? See the building with the black and gold sign on it?
Yeah.
Josiah's House, excellent steak. Good restaurant. Right
Oh,
now.
restaurant.
These are our palmetto trees. These are our state tree here. Now, can you tell how tell the difference between a palm tree and a palmetto? If you look at this palmetto, you'll see it has a long, skinny arm that comes off the trunk of the tree. And in that arm, you got all these fingers here. So the palm tree just has its fingers that come out of the trunk of the tree. They have that long, skinny arm. These trees were important in our history. What our forts were made out of. We heard the British were coming. We had to have a fort built fast. They built the fort out on Sullivan's Island, called it Fort Moultrie, in honor of William Moultrie. He was the commander of the fort. They used the palmetto tree because it was the most abundant tree around. It turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Palmetto wood is a soft, spongy wood. So when the cannonballs hit it, they bounced off of it, or they were literally absorbed by the wood, which reinforced the fort, made it even stronger. We won that battle. It was the first decisive victory of the American Revolution. It was fought on June 28, 1776. It's on Carolina Day here. Oh. Chalmers. Now Chalmers is the longest cobblestone street in the city. I told y'all we didn't have stone. How we get the stone here? It was ballast. They put in the ship's hulls coming from Europe. They helped to weight that ship down when it came across the high seas. They got here, they unload the ballast, get back our crops of rice, cotton, or indigo. Oh. All right, come on.
Yeah. Okay.
Hibernian Hall is an Irish fraternal organization. And one year they have a Protestant president, next year they have a Catholic president. They've worked out pretty well so far. They say it's all Irish, all white, all male, all drunk, all the time. It's a great style adaptive architecture. These big windows were carriage entrances one time. Look at the boats still sitting outside the walls there. All right, Jamie, let's get across to the other lane. All right, Jane, come across. Come on. That's that fire of 1861. The fifth major fire we had here was the largest of all five. Destroyed 1/3 of the city. Total about 545 acres. The white building that was standing here was directly that fire's path. This is where the South Carolina Institute Hall stood. This is where the ordinance of secession was signed on December 20th, 1860. And was the night that South Carolina seceded from the nation. We used the Institute Hall because at the time it was the largest building in Charleston. one that won 1 week, 2 weeks tops, no problem. 4 years and 2 days later, reached the river. Changed our lifestyles forever. Knocked us down a whole lot of notches. Circular Church is also in the path of that fire. That one was rebuilt in 1891. You like chili dogs?
Yep.
And there's hot dog stands, and I'm dead serious about this, y'all. Best chili dogs in the city. They make their own homemade chili, but it's great.
Smells good.
Oh, they are. They're real good. We're taking right on to Cumberland. I want y'all to notice the marks there. It says the side of the Carteret Bastion. Now, Bastion is a French word that means corner. 1704, Charleston became a walled city. The wall went 8 blocks to the south, 3 blocks east. These types of walls get built. They're being constructed by a French engineer by the name of Bond. The psychological effect of our wall was so strong that when the Spanish sailed into the harbor in 1711, turned around and went home and didn't cause the first single shot. 17.
Okay.
So Gene, our horse.
Did you dip action for us? Want to walk through here? Over here?
Natalie in our natural environment.
I didn't know what to say to say chocolate, and later on Jim said yeah, but you just grab this.
We're going to go on a boat cruise, but this wasn't enough time. That looks like Patriots Point. The nuclear-powered merchant ship. Submarine and a flat top. Oh, camera person. I don't know if you can see the spiral staircase on the second floor of the fort. This isn't the rainbow houses?
Behave, you're on film.
Hmm?
See his numbers, then his height.
That's one of the Fords, definitely. Patriots Point, we got here too late to go in, but it's on the other side of the river from Charleston. Yorktown aircraft carrier. I don't think it's with me.